Hello, sixth grade. This is trial number 2 for me today. It is Wednesday, September 23rd. I want you to know I tried to video in a different way and I failed, but I'm going to retry it tomorrow. Mrs. Herrig keeps trying to teach me new things, so I'm going to get it figured out. Today in your class, we did work out of our sentence, our teaching writing packet, our sentence packet, so you need that. And then we also worked out of your other writing packet. It says, it has this page on the front of it. So make sure you have both of those ready. Today we did week 1 Monday in the sentence writing packet, and I assigned week 1 Tuesday. So you have an assignment to do for tomorrow. You can take a picture of it or you can upload it to the Google Classroom assignment. If you've already submitted it on Google Classroom, I can show you classwork. Excuse me. On this one, if you've already submitted it, I think you can unsubmit it and then resubmit it after you do the next page. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then we'll be working on editing today out of the other packet. So let's start with this. First of all, if you ever need a reminder about what it means to make a compound or a complex sentence, you can look at what we've highlighted and it's in big bold letters. That to make a sentence compound, we need to, that's not the page I want, we need to add a comma conjunction. Today it says we are making sentences compound and complex. Probably, I'm not going to open it with Cami because I don't want to write in it right now. But we're going to also make it, I'm sorry, my brain is frazzled at the moment. We're going to make it compound by adding a comma conjunction. Our conjunctions are and, or, but, so, for, yet, nor. And then we are going to make it complex by hooking the two sentences together with a subordinating conjunction. Examples of subordinating conjunctions were on this page. We use them to show cause-effect relationship or to show a change in time. So, I think I wrote on one of these somewhere. So today, let me make this big on here. So today, we worked with these two sentences. I played on my phone through computer science class. My speech on how to write computer code did not go well. The first thing we have to do is make it compound. So I have to hook these two sentences together with a comma conjunction. In class, we decided we liked the word so. I played on my phone through computer science class, comma, so, get my finger out of the way, my speech on how to write computer code did not go well. So we use comma, so to make it compound. Then it says you have to make it complex. So we decided that we could use since or because. And we said, since I played on my phone through computer science class, comma, my speech on how to write computer code did not go well. If I start a complex sentence with a subordinating conjunction like since, I have to say since all, oopsie daisy, since all of this, comma, then all of that. Because of all of this, comma, then all of that. So if you start with a subordinating conjunction at the beginning, you do need a comma right there to separate the two ideas. If, however, you have since in the middle, if I change this sentence to say, if I start with the bottom, my speech on how to write computer code did not go well since I played on my phone through computer science class. If I put since in the middle and I start with this bottom idea, I don't need a comma. Only if I begin my sentence with a subordinating conjunction do I need a comma in between the two ideas. Once again, all of the answers are at the bottom. You can certainly have a peek at those if you need a reminder of how to write it. Then the assignment is week 1, Tuesday. Notice this one is the opposite. It says breaking compound and complex into simple. So here you have a complex sentence for number 1. I can tell it's complex because it starts with because all of that, then comma, then all of that. And then question number 2 is a very similar sentence, but it has a comma but. So I can tell number 2 is a compound. You're going to take these two very similar sentences and break them both apart into 2 simple sentences. If you don't feel like you know what's going on, you're nervous about it, please take a peek and let that help you for number 1, and then definitely try number 2 on your own. So that is the first thing we did. The second thing we did, I'm going to kind of go through this because I want to make sure that you're ready. We are almost done with our essay, so we want to make sure all our pre-writing is finished too. In this packet, we did not do the word bank page. We did talk about a score of 4 for each of those categories across the top up here. So make sure you've read those. That's how you'll be scored for your essay, how you'll be graded. Then I asked you to come up with 3 goals. If this page is not done, you will have a 0 for your pre-writing. All of it, it's all or nothing. So you need to make sure you do all the pieces. That was for you to have goals for yourself for your improvement in your writing. Another page that you needed to have done was the abecedarian list. There are a couple pages in your packet that are text. You probably should have tried to find some of those concrete words in there, but I am not expecting to see it. I think it was yesterday we did a strategy where you had to read your story twice to somebody and they gave you something that they liked and something that they want to know more about. And you were supposed to take that information yesterday for homework and use it to help revise your essay. So you would have written on here, my listeners liked this part, my listeners wanted to hear more about this. Now today, that's just a quick review of what should be filled out in this packet. Today we talked about proofreading marks. Use carets, they're there. All of these are carets to help add in any letters or words or sentences or punctuation marks. If you realize that, oops, I forgot my period there, you want to make sure that you do something special with it. You put the period in and then you put a circle around it because periods are small and you don't want to mistake it as a nothing, so you put a big circle around it and use a different color ink, and that will help too. This weird backwards P, 2 lines and a backwards P, is to show that you need a new paragraph. So if you wrote some dialogue and you had 2 different people talking and you forgot to indent and start a new paragraph, you would put a backwards P with 2 lines instead of 1. And that will tell you that when you go to publish or write your final draft that you need to remember to go to the next line and indent. If you need to capitalize a letter, you forgot to capitalize somebody's name, all you have to do is draw 3 lines under it. That is the code to tell you to capitalize it. If you notice that you put 2 words in the wrong order and you need to switch them, you need to flip-flop them, or, this isn't the one I used in class, if it could also be for if you write the word said, I'll just do it on here. it easier. Said is usually spelled S-A-I-D, but let's say I notice that I accidentally spelled it S-I-A-D. Well, I can use that flip-flop like this and tell myself I need to flip-flop my I and my A. You also see that there is a capital R on the page, and I didn't mean to make it capital. It's supposed to be lowercase. So all you have to do to fix that is put a cross through the capital letter. You don't have to write anything else, just put a cross there. And then if you notice that you've written something that you don't want anymore, you can delete it with a curly Q and a slash, or I tell you just draw a line through it. One single line so it doesn't look sloppy, and so you can still read it if you ever need to again. Excuse me. There's one more page that I need you to use today, and it is page 1.10, and it is an editing checklist, and this says to do it with a partner. We didn't share papers, so you can just do this for your own paper, and you're just going to check each of these items. Are the opening and closing quotation marks around the dialogue? Are first and third person pronouns used correctly? Like, did I say I for first person and did I say she for third person? Are commas used correctly in introductory elements? You want to know what an introductory element is? It's what you guys have been working on. I just showed you one today. Since I played on my phone through computer class, that's an introductory element. It's not a sentence by itself anymore because I put since in front of it. So it's not a complete sentence because you're waiting for the rest of it. So I have to use a comma at the end because I'm kind of introducing the rest of the sentence. I'm going to count that as fitting, even if it's not quite. It's a reminder for you to use your complex and compound sentences. Introductory elements could also be like, Johnny, comma, can you come and play? Or yes, comma, I would love to, because we use commas to set off yes and no at the beginning of a sentence, and we also use them to set off people's names. And then it also asks, are there spelling and capitalization errors? Do the sentences make sense? So it would be really easy for me to just go check, 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 done. My homework's done. But I'm going to challenge you to think a little harder about it. And it may even be something that if you take out a highlighter and you go through and highlight every capital letter you can find, and you're not even really reading the sentences, you're just looking for all your capital letters, and then take another one out and just highlight every punctuation mark you can find, that might help you see, like actually see it, because sometimes your eyes float over the text and it all looks good to you, but if you highlight first and then you read your text, then you might notice, oops, I'm missing something if you've highlighted it first. So your homework today was to do week 1 Tuesday in your sentence packet. You also need to edit your entire essay. We need to be ready to work on publishing them tomorrow. And then you need to make sure you study your spelling and always read for 20 minutes. And make sure that if you haven't done it yet, you do your cursive spelling by Friday. And get ready for a spelling test by Friday. We'll do those every Friday. And I think that's it. So, have a wonderful evening.